First of all, I'll address my comments to the top table here. Thank you so much for coming. I don't want you to be confused. I am not the Reverend Ian Paisley. The wrath of God will not be upon you if you don't give us what we want. But what I do promise you is the wrath of Bill will be on all of you. And I mean that. The whole of Mid Wales is going to be. Once upon a time, a government decided to open a hospital in rural Mid Wales. The LHB said, look, someone might be ill. What a good idea, let's appoint a nurse. Good move. Now, somebody from the LHB said, how does a nurse do her job without instruction? So they opened a planning department and hired 2 people, one person to write the instructions and one person to manage the person who writes the instructions. Then the LHB said, how do we know that these people are doing their work correctly? So they created a quality control department and hired, you guessed, 2 people. One to do the studies and one to write the report. Oh, and they also appointed a health and safety officer. No, they had 2. One to manage the health and safety for the staff and one to manage the health and safety for the health and safety officer. Then the LHB said, how are these people going to get paid? So they then employed somebody like I was in the previous life, a human relations officer, and somebody to pay them. Wonderful. Then the LHB said, who's going to be accountable for all these people? So they appointed an admin officer, who had to have an admin assistant, who had to have a clerical officer, who had to have a secretary. And then, what they do then, they appointed, this is where the big boys come in, the Lone Ranger and Tonto, a chief executive officer, and a chairman. And then, after 110 years, they look at the hospital and say, oh, it's losing £60,000 a year, we've got to make cutbacks. So they get rid of the bloody nurse.